know by now, the U.S. Department of Justice issues a scathing report on the Baltimore City Police Department.
We conclude that there is reasonable cause to believe that BPD engages in a pattern or practice of conduct that violates the Constitution and federal anti-discrimination law.
From excessive force to unlawful stops of citizens without legal justification, violating constitutional rights, this DOJ report hits the BPD very hard. Bob Scher.
Many years of failed leadership, an emphasis on statistics and zero tolerance.
Darlene Kennedy.
While the DOJ report is not surprising, they need to focus on other cities as well.
All right, Delegate Keith Haynes.
The report confirms what many people in Baltimore, especially African Americans, have alleged or said all along. The one thing that may be surprising is the extent of the constitutional violations.
All right, and Chris Kennedy.
Richard, moving forward, I would hope that the police officers that were involved here would heed the advice of Abraham Lincoln, and that is to listen to the better angels of our nature.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Square Off. I'm Richard Scher. This discussion, this report from the DOJ, hot as the weather outside of your homes right now. Try to stay as cool as you can, you two panelists, okay? Brought to you by the law offices of Peter Angelos, and if you or someone in your family has been hurt because of someone else's negligence, pick up the phone in the morning, call 1-800-556-5522, and schedule your free consultation.
I have no tolerance for any person who is privileged enough to wear this uniform if they choose to engage in racist, sexist, discriminatory, or bias-based policing.
We're serious about reforming the department, and that type of work isn't aided by pointing fingers of blame. It is aided by rolling up your sleeves and doing the very tough work.
And the report says the police issues are rooted in poverty and race, focusing on law enforcement, on low-income minority communities, and encourage officers to have unnecessary adversarial interactions with community members. Keith.
Well, Richard, I think the report is indicative of what the community has been saying all along for many years, for decades, that these are systemic findings which occur every day, almost every hour on the hour, in particular the Western District and the Central District, which I'm very familiar with. And I think what we have to do at this point is we know it's there. We have to deal with it, move forward, invest in the reforms to make this a better city and a better community and a better police force.
Amen.
Well, we start with the, first of all, it's failed leadership. Failed leadership in the police department and failed leadership even beyond that with mayors, politicians in Baltimore City. We start with the Schmoke administration, all right? But I can go back way earlier than that. But that's modern time. 300 homicides when Schmoke was mayor. So to run for mayor, you had to promise you were going to cut crime and cut homicides. So mayors that succeeded him were interested in statistics. And zero tolerance by O'Malley, arrest everybody. And that's where your problem begins.
And, you know, what's going on with the FOP? I really haven't heard anyone from that organization step up and say, yeah, we have some bad seeds and we need to work on getting them out. This hush-hush, do not talk, do not rat on each other, it's got to stop. It's been going on for years. Look at the riots in L.A. back in the 60s. Why was that? Because the cops were doing the same thing they're still doing now.
This is not unique to Baltimore. This is not unique to Baltimore.
I find myself agreeing with Bob Scher that zero tolerance is the proximate cause of this problem. And we've got 4 lawyers up here. There's more than 100 years of legal experience. We all learned in law school the case of Terry versus Ohio, the seminal case on stop and frisk, which is you must have, as a police officer, articulable facts giving rise to reasonable suspicion to stop and frisk somebody. Right. That is, by definition, inconsistent with zero tolerance. And so each of these times that this has been happening, these officers have been on their own or through direction, tossing out the Fourth Amendment and ignoring it.
Listen to this, wait, Bob. From January 2010 until May 2015, city police recorded more than 300,000 pedestrian stops, 44% in just 2 small, predominantly African-American districts. 7 black men were stopped more than 30 times each.
I want to comment on that, on those 2 districts, okay? Listen, we all agree that the abuse that has been perpetrated by the police department was wrong, terrible, and all that. We're all in agreement on that. But I do want to say one thing about this disproportionate number of arrests in these 2 districts. As one of the Commissioner Barksdale, Acting Commissioner Barksdale, made a comment about that in the paper, and I agree with him. The police officers go where the crime is. They go where the violent crime is. And if the violent crime is taking place in the majority in those two districts, that's where you're going to find the arrests. That's where you're going to find police.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
And
because-
again, it's abuse. It's abuse.
It is abuse.
And I'm not disagreeing.
But from an individual who is very familiar with that,
Okay.
having represented it for 12 or 13 or 14 years
Right.
in the legislature, that there literally is a systemic pattern of what we're seeing with constitutional rights being
I agree with
violated
you.
in these two areas.
I agree.
If you
What
look-
I'm
if you
saying
look, if you
is-
look at the percentage of
second, Bobby.
the population and contrast that with the number of arrests, it is it's unfathomable that this is happening. One of the things that we did back in 2007, because we at that time under the zero tolerance policy,
Right.
over 600,000 individuals had arrest records.
I agree.
And what we did, I actually introduced that piece of legislation, and fortunately it passed. It created an automatic expungement without charge.
Here's
to
my
give
point,
people,
Keith.
To give people a break on their records.
All right.
let him
We
have
have
Keith,
to do
let me-
something-
let me-
we have
I
to
hear
do
you.
something to
Bob,
address
take the
this
final
problem.
30
All right.
seconds.
There is abuse. I agree. And there's abuse in those two districts. But what I'm saying is, even if the arrests were legit, whatever legitimate arrest took place, you're going to find more in those two districts than anywhere else in Baltimore City, because that's where the crime is.
That's where they're going.
That's where the criminals are.
Where the criminals are